Now that we've got our site defined, we can begin creating pages and starting on our design. So this tutorial we're going to focus on creating our style sheet, creating basically our home page, which will be called index.html, and then linking our style sheet to that page. So the first thing I'm going to do is go up, make sure you have Dreamweaver open. Forgot to mention that. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to File, New, and I want to select from a new document, and we're going to go ahead and create the HTML page first. So I'm going to select HTML, and we're going to be using HTML5 here, so everything here is good as where I need it to be. And so I'm going to hit create and just ignore some of that items there. You'll notice that I've got another window open, so just ignore that up there for now. Where it says Untitled 1, we want to save this right away. So I'm going to go up to File, Save As, and underneath my portfolio here, I want to make sure I have selected my last name, first name portfolio so that I see my file folders here. I want to put my index page, this is going to be named index, so I'm going to take that, delete that off, and name it as index. And I want to save this in with the rest of my stuff. I'm not going to put it into a folder. I'm not going to create a special folder just for my files there, or for my HTML files. These are going to, all of my HTML files are going to reside in the same location as my folders. Now when I have images and other documents, I will place those in correct folders, but all of the HTML files go outside of those folders. So name it index.html and then click Save. And then the next thing I need to do is I need to create my style sheet. So I need to go up to File, New, and instead of HTML I'm going to select CSS and create. All of our styles are going to be in what's called an external style sheet. You'll notice that this is a slightly different format, and this is what sets it apart from an HTML document up here. So I need to save this also, so I'm going to go up to File, Save As, and here I'm going to name this Portfolio Main. Notice that I'm not using any spaces here, and this is going to go inside my _CSS folder, so that way it's all housed and organized in a place that I want it to be. So I'm going to hit Save there. Okay. Next, I'm actually going to go ahead and close this up here in my tabs area. I'm going to close that portfolio main CSS out, and I have my index.html open, and underneath where it says title, I'm gonna change that here in a little bit, but I want to go ahead and link up this this page right away, so that for my next steps on my next section, I'll address the title there. By setting up some basic page properties. But before I move on, I want to make sure I link my style sheet to the index page. So I'm going to place my cursor right after that closing title tag and hit the enter return key. You'll notice that I have a blank line on line 6, and it comes before the closing head tag. Really important that I do that. So I'm going to type in a left caret, and I'm going to type in LINK, link. You notice my code hint completes it for me, or shows up, and I'm just going to hit the enter return key to complete that statement. And then the next thing is href, so href, and then I hit the enter return key to complete that statement as well. And then you'll notice that I have the browse for file icon. So I'm going to hit the enter return key one more time, so that way it brings up my browse for file window. And you'll notice that it pops up automatically for me into my CSS folder, but if you have to navigate to your CSS folder, go ahead and do so, and navigate to where it says portfolio main.css and click open, and hit the space bar, and we have a couple more line items to type in. We're going to type in REL and hit the enter return key when you see that code hint pop up. And then this is the style sheet. So you'll notice that there's an alternate style sheet and style sheet. We want to make sure we select style sheet. and then hit the space bar again so that our code hint pops up another time, and we need to type in TYP for type. So notice how the type comes up in code hint. Hit the enter return key, and then hit the enter return key one more time. You notice that text /CSS is already highlighted. That's what we want to select. So hit that. And then last but not least, we hit the / and then right caret to close that line out. So now our index.html page is linked with our style sheet. So make sure you hit save, Command S or Control S. Okay, and quick tip, if you click on the design button, and you'll notice as soon as I click on the design button, I have a new couple new things show up. And you click back on code and it's the same, it stays there. But what this is showing you here is that we have two different files here. This is the source code, which is our HTML, the index.html, and then this little bubble right here allows us to toggle between our style sheet and our source code so that we don't have to have both open at the same time. So we can just toggle back and forth between those two. Okay? Alright, so in our next video we're going to start setting up some basic page properties in our style sheet, give our HTML document a title, and continue from there.